Before I begin, I wanted to say that this product is provided by Nintendo. When I first saw ARMS at E3, the first thing that came to my mind was, where's Golden Sun? And then after I said, this game is not my cup of tea. As the year went on and we saw more ARMS, I thought I wouldn't like this game. I'm not really a big fighting game fan in general. A few weeks ago, Nintendo kindly sent me the game to test it out, and I gotta tell you, I was a schmuck for doubting ARMS. Nintendo did an amazing job with its new IP. It's fun, it's challenging, and it has that Nintendo touch. ARMS is very different from traditional fighting games. It reminds me a lot back in the day when you had those inflatable rock'em sock'em robot punching fists, right? And you would punch and box your friends, but pretend you had slinky arms and you'd be able to scaff them across the room. That's what ARMS is all about. In ARMS, you have various amount of fighters with their own niche and abilities that have their magical arms, or hair, or robot, but mostly their arms that can extend and punch their opponents across the room with different powers and abilities. Some arms have ice powers that can freeze opponents, electric powers that can stun them, and fire powers that can burn them. It's a very simple combat style that's super easy to pick up and understand. The game has various amount of modes. A Grand Prix where you battle the rest of the ARMS cast in back-to-back fights in order to become the champ. It has various amount of difficulties that are all fair and balanced in my opinion. Within the Grand Prix you stick to mostly traditional ARMS combat, however they throw in a few party modes in the mix. I'll go over each of those party games in a bit, but I just want to say at first I didn't like how it broke you away from the combat, but after doing a couple of Grand Prix and different amount of difficulties, it was a nice refresher that helped me ease up and relax before my next regular combat fight. In Versus mode, you can fight a friend through a CPU in various amount of modes. Regular combat, where you can go one-on-one in traditional ARMS battling. When battling a CPU, you can usually use this as kind of like a training mode. Since the game's training mode is more of a learning how to deal with different scenarios and situations, I highly recommend you check out those training missions, to get you ready for online play and harder Grand Prix mode difficulties. At first, I was having a lot of trouble adjusting because I really didn't read the tutorial. I went back and played those training missions, and I really understand how to play the game, and I had no problem adjusting to higher difficulty and other people online. Team mode, where you're attached to another ARMS character by a rope and you have to avoid being hit and thrown, because if you get hit and you fly across the screen, your teammate will fly across the screen. Also, friendly fire is turned on, so while you're punching, you want to avoid hitting your teammate because you will do damage to them. V-ball, which is pretty much volleyball, and at first I didn't enjoy this mode, but when you first learn how to spike the ball and play online, it gets really fast paced and really fun. Hoops, where you grab your opponent and slam dunk them or shoot them inside a basketball hoop. Skill shot, where you break the targets and you also want to hit your opponent for bonus points. This is where I had the most difficulty with these party games, but as soon as I learned really how to get it down and how to hit your opponent and how to break the targets, I had no problem, and this was a lot of fun online. 1 versus 100, where you battle 100 slime monsters and try to defeat them all. ARMS test mode, where you try random arms and go for a winning streak. If you want to be Rocky Balboa, there's ranked match, where you can compete and be on top of the world with your rank. However, let me tell you where it's at in ARMS, and that is Hearty match, where you fight people online for fun, unranked. And this is where I had my most fun. This is where I'm going to gush. This is where ARMS is where it's at. Here you get to play people with some team fights, some V-balls, some hoops, some skill shot, and some regular arm battles. You're thrown into a lobby, you bounce all over the place, you fight then some hoops, and then you do some skill shot, then you do some regular matches. The waiting time is really fast. You're not waiting that long to battle other people, but while you wait, you can practice your arm fighting abilities, and I ran into 0 problems online. No lag issues, no disconnects. It was a great time. My only gripe with online mode is there's no voice chat, and I know Nintendo is going to do their future voice chat with the app, but I would have loved some type of Mario Kart type of deal that after a match you can give a quick text option like, hey, great fight, great match, I'll beat you next time. Something along those lines, just to, make it a little bit more of a party. But that's just my opinion. It would have been really cool if Nintendo did that. Now, in all these modes, you get coins, and those coins you can cash in to get other arms. And in the Get Arms mode, this is where you want to practice your skill shot, because you're going to be breaking the targets, and when you break the targets, you can get another arm. And you can get arms from all these different other characters, and when you get duplicate arms, the arms actually double in power. So you want to be getting these coins, and you're going to be using them to get arms. Now, the mode I really recommend is using the 200 coin mode, because this is where you're going to get the most arms for your money. So save up your arm coins until you get 200, and then go bada bing, bada boom in them skill shot batches, and you're going to get those arms for your favorite characters. Now, I played this ARMS game in table mode, handheld mode, and the dock mode, and I really enjoyed it in tablet mode. I felt right. It felt really fun, but it works great in all different modes, and I think you're going to have a great time. The content, I gave a 15 out of 20 with a little asterisk because right now, there's not a lot of characters. You know, Grand Prix mode seems a little bit short. But what's going to be great is they're going to be rolling in some free DLC with some characters and some different stages and maybe some different arms. So when that happens, the content score will probably go up right now. But right now, it stands at 15 out of 20. ARMS is a super great time, and if you're not a fighting fan like me, you still might enjoy this game, and I really hope you enjoyed the test punches to give you a little taste of what ARMS has to bring. I could not put this game down in online, and let me tell you something. If you play that Mama Luke character, Bark and Bite, you're dead to me, okay? I don't want to see any of you do that online, you know? That's the one character who gets a big no-no in my book. But overall, ARMS is great, and if you get yourself a Switch this summer, I highly recommend you pick up ARMS, or at least try it if you can. Is there Blockbuster or any renting game stores? If you can rent the game somewhere, or any way you can, rent it first, but I would highly recommend getting this game. ARMS gets an 85 and a B rank, and if you're ready to knuck and buck, if you're ready to be Rocky Balboa and punch across the screen, I highly recommend get ARMS because it's one great time.